Hey everyone, welcome to the first episode of the Black Creator Podcast. My name is Khadija LaShawn, also known as your Black Guidance Counselor. I'm here solely to guide you to the resources that you need. So if you came across this video, you're most likely looking into spirituality, you're looking into book writing, you're looking into starting your own business possibly. So I'm very grateful to welcome my special guest. Her name is Ebony, also known as Meek's Diva. She is also known as the Borderline Vegan, and she is an author, a published author, an educator, and a luxury nail manicurist, along with a whole bunch of other things. So welcome, 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 Ebony. How are you doing today?
Thank you. I'm feeling amazing. Thank you so much. And that was a beautiful intro. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. I kind of wanted to jump straight into it. And I want to start off with an icebreaker just to make things a little fun and get to know you a little bit more for anybody who is first time seeing you. So are you ready?
Okay. I love icebreakers. Yes, okay, love them.
Awesome. So what are 3 words that you would use to describe yourself?
3 words that I would use to describe myself would be loyal, protected, and divine.
Okay. Now to turn that around, what are 3 words that other people would use to describe you?
Okay. 3 words other people would probably use to describe me would be weird, mysterious, and pretty.
That's good. I mean, weird is okay though. I mean, I'm okay with being called weird. I mean, I feel like I am weird and I own it. So
I like it.
Yeah.
Right.
When you think of one of your happiest moments in life, where were you and what were you doing?
Oh my gosh. Let me see. One of my happiest moments. Wow. There's so many of them. I think one of my happiest moments was when I was going to FedEx to pick up my books. When I got home and I realized that I had missed the FedEx man and I was going to pick him up. Aww. That was like a feeling of joy. Yeah,
like an accomplished feeling.
Yeah, like they here.
Yes.
That's one of my happiest moments for sure.
That's good. And I'm proud of you for publishing your books. I know that I've been watching the videos and I know it's like out of order when I watch them, but it's like one, you'll be like, oh, I'm publishing my books or they're published now, so it's great to see that.
Right.
And I actually did read one of your books. I read Angels Everywhere.
Oh, wow.
That was definitely eye-opening for me as far as different numbers and because I know the videos, it kind of goes hand in hand, but it was more expanded as far as what the specific number means and when it's heightened, this is what it means. And I really just appreciate you providing that guidance because it's very confusing sometimes with the numbers. It's a lot of messages,
It can be overwhelming.
Yes, right. very much so.
Very much overwhelming. Right.
And I guess I want to, before we even get into that, if you could describe yourself, and you could say not even just your accomplishments, but who you are as a person. Who are you to this world?
I am definitely a lover. I am really in tune. I am loyal. I'm an angel because I'm always gonna do something no matter what the exterior may look like, the hard exterior, I'm always gonna be the one to bless somebody. So I definitely consider myself an angel, earth angel, a teacher, an educator. I love the young ones. I'm just, I'm really soft-hearted and emotional. You know what I'm saying? So,
I hear that.
Yeah, I'm just I'm really just a lover.
You're
I'm just
a
lover. Yeah, I'm a lover all across the board for sure.
I got you. And how would you say that have you always been a lover? How did that transition?
I got love sucks tattooed on my arm right here when I was in college. What?
Oh.
Broken hearts tattooed on me, being sewn back together. So I know that, and there is still some I don't know, some stuff I'm working through. Like, I'm not this perfect person, but I know that I've grown because I understand that love really is like the highest vibration. And even though I can't always be there all the time, I just really make a conscious effort to just try to stay in that energy. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Because we always gonna be tested, but I always try to just, stay in a love vibe and just be like, is that loving? Is that a nice thing to do? You know what I'm saying? Do I feel
Yeah.
comfortable? So, yeah.
It kind of goes into the whole do unto others as you want done unto yourself,
Absolutely, because it will definitely come back. That energy comes back. So I always want to put out that love energy. No matter what they give to me, I try to be in control of what I give out.
Absolutely. That makes
Always.
complete sense. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say that there's been a time where you saw the product of the love that you were given?
Yes, my whole life.
Yes.
Expression of love, because what I've learned, especially like in my personal journey, is that the love may not always be returned from the source that you gave it to.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I try to work on what I give out as opposed to responding to what happens to me, because even though I may have done something very loving to you and you stabbed me in my back or hurt me or did whatever to me, you may not return that love, but it may be 10 people lined up from the divine to send me that love, because it's always going to come back magnified. You get what I'm
Yes.
saying? So, yes, my entire life has been just expressions of love and miracles. And that's why I'm always like, it ain't worth it to me to be out of alignment. It ain't worth the revenge and all that stuff is not worth it to me. As opposed to, just operating at a little higher space.
That makes
Absolutely. That was
sense.
a question. Yeah, because my entire life was like that.
I got you. I mean, that's good to see that though, to speak from your life, like when you weren't being as loving, it wasn't returned as much either. Maybe it's
Absolutely.
like
I
the
got
change
back
had to happen.
right. And it has to start from within. I got back what I was giving out. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? No matter, okay, it was justified in my right, it was justified, but still you're keeping that cycle. And somebody
Yeah.
gotta break the cycle. So when you break the cycle, then you're like, ooh, okay, well, I met 3 more lovers after this. You get what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? As opposed to trying to be mean to you for another 4 years. Like, I let that go and gave you love, and now look at all these people trying to court me. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So, like, yeah.
It's like you
You
can't worry about the past. You can't worry
gotta
about all the, I got you. You got to move forward, right?
move forward, leave the past in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's talk about your books, okay? So
Yeah.
you published 3 books, okay?
Yeah.
Talk me through the process of the idea to the writing to the publishing. You don't have to go into severe detail about everything, but just talk me through how your creative process went with that.
Okay, well, this is an evidence of divine intervention, an evidence of love
Mm-hmm.
being returned back to me, because this isn't something it wasn't traditional, first of all. It was a result of my spiritual awakening, like how I got into everything. Like, my books came my books came after I fell and cut my face. That's everything was around that incident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It was like a spiritual awakening. And I was kind of humble. Like I say all the time, it's easier for you to humble yourself than to have God humble you, because it's like He know all your fears, all your everything. Like, it's gonna be perfect for you. So that situation for me was very humbling and like an awakening. And that's when I started seeing angel numbers and all of that. So I just kind of sat down. I've always been a writer, no matter what. Like, I always carry a journal with me and I'm writing things down.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't, and I knew I wanted to write books. I knew I wanted to be an author just because I stay in the library. I like reading books. Like, that's just like, oh, I want to write a book one day. And I
Yeah.
wrote an affirmation card, like, just, write your book one day. It'll change your life. I think I seen it on Instagram and I wrote it down like, oh, that makes sense. Write your book today. Yeah, somebody posted, write your book today. It'll change your life. And I wrote it down in my handwriting, put it on my wall. And so I didn't know what my books would be about. But when I was healing my face, I just kind of went in this hermit mode. I didn't want to be around anybody, you know, like I was just my focus was on healing. And a lot of that was solitude, research, journaling, watching documentaries and all that stuff. And then one day I was just like, just type all your stuff, all these journal notes up. And that's what I did. I typed all my journal notes up, and I realized like a whole bunch of it. And at that time I was heavily involved in the church, like going to Bible study every week, going to church and always taking notes. So I had a lot of spiritual church notes. I had a lot of affirmations. I was seeing a whole bunch of angel numbers. So every time I would see those, I would start journaling what it means, you know, whatever messages were coming to me. So all of my books are basically my journal notes.
Okay.
One day when I typed it up, it was like maybe 2 or 3 days for me to type them all up, and I was like, dang. Then I went back and I highlighted some, like anything about angel numbers was in blue, and anything about healing my face was in green, and then any like positive affirmation about changing my energy was like in a different color. And I was like, dang, I really got 3 books. And then from there, I just typed them up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So with the typing them up, before that like inspiration happened, what were you doing? Like, I know you said you were researching and everything, but were you fasting? Were you like connected to your source in a specific way, or?
Not as much. Then, not at that time. I was doing like the Daniel fast at church. I would fast like maybe once a year. But I was really concerned with getting my physical body right. You know what I'm saying? I had changed my diet. I was doing like vision boards and things like that, but I really wasn't as connected. You know, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it was a process.
Yeah, it was definitely a process. So I'm trying to think, did I fast for my first? No, I know I did a fast before I actually printed the books. Before I wrote them, no, I didn't. I wasn't like fasting for those books. I was just really like trying to heal, and it was just like unfolding. I was going through a lot of personal stuff too, so like, yeah.
I get that. I completely understand. Do you ever feel? Well, okay, I have 2 follow-up questions to what you said. One is like, do you ever feel like you have too many ideas, or like too many ideas are coming to you at the same time and you're like trying to sift through to figure out your next step, you know? All the time.
One of my most common prayers is for the next step. Like I got so much going on that I just feel overwhelmed and don't get shit done.
And it's like that doesn't help either, you know?
At all. Like not at all. Not at all. Oh yeah, I do have a lot of ideas.
Yeah. And it's like every idea will be like a great one. You know, it's like, oh,
it's just like, what do I want to focus on right now? Yeah.
I hear that. And then the other follow-up question I had to that is, because you were like, I mean, I don't know, you still consider yourself Christian?
No, I don't.
No. I just wonder, like, is that conflicting for you, like being spiritual and being Christian? Like, is it?
No, because I'm clear. I know for a fact that I could not be considered a Christian or fit in a box. That's why I say I'm weird. Even though I go to church every Sunday, but I don't, but I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I wanted to, every time I go to church, I get a message. I will never be disrespectful to the church or anybody religion. But my personal experience, and the only point of view I can speak from is my own. But from my personal experience, and I remember, like I said, I was heavily in the church, but one day I had a question after Bible study. I'm in Bible study at like 30 years old. You get what I'm saying? So,
you were serious about it.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a question, and I don't even want to get into what the question was, but he just kept pointing at the Bible. He was like, because the Bible said, and I was like, yeah, but how do we know? And he just looked at me and he was like, sis, you're not a believer. Well, you're not a believer then, sister. And it clicked. And I was like, damn, maybe I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
maybe that's not your belief.
Yeah, maybe I don't believe that. And it's okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's okay, because I know people from all walks of life and all different beliefs. So it's okay if we don't believe that it's called this or this person died this day. Like, it's okay. And I really felt free after that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I really felt free after that. Like, dang, and my parents were not happy about that at all.
I believe it. I believe it.
Not happy at all about that. But I really felt like, damn, I don't have to say that. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to say that if I really don't believe that. And the way I live my life, they would not believe, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't numerology like that. People call me witches and stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, so, and I know my truth. So there's no way I could fully say that I'm a Christian when I know there's some scriptures in the Bible that kind of denounce what I believe in too, from my personal experience, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. We don't have to get too much into the Bible either. I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah.
Because I can't speak on nothing I know nothing about.
Exactly.
I mean, I know a little bit about, but you know, I'm not well versed enough to do that, you know, and a lot of people who judge aren't either.
I think it's important though that you were able to accept yourself, like your true self, you know, because a lot of times we're held back by like, oh, I was taught this way. This is how I was raised to believe, you know, and that switch, you know, it can be, like you said, empowering because you no longer feel like, oh, I have to believe this because I'm going to get in trouble or because this, you know, like you can choose what you want to believe.
Absolutely.
It's very powerful.
You can choose what you want to believe. Absolutely.
I want to ask you, how do you remain consistent with the ups and downs of a spiritual journey? How do you stay on track with your business? What kind of things do you put in place to stay organized and to stay on track with where you're going?
I'm not always on track.
I understand.
I'm not. So like that right there is humbling. It helps you gain more humility and just, you know that you got to figure it out. Like you got to figure it out. Like there's no shortcut. It ain't no, like, there's no cheat code, none of that stuff, no loopholes. Like, it's a couple along the way, but the long way really is the shortcut. So
yeah.
The only way to really stay consistent is to be consistent. And I write it every day on my affirmation board. I show up and I'm consistent. When I show up, I get paid. That's a very powerful affirmation for me. I show up and I'm consistent. When I show up, I get paid. But I don't always show up. And I'm not always consistent, but I try my best to be. Absolutely. And I try not to have hold on to any feelings of guilt when I don't.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at too, because it's like there can be that feeling of guilt when you feel like you don't know where you're going or you don't know exactly what the next step is, you know, like it can be a pressure there too, because it's like if this is the choice you're making to follow this journey, it's like, okay, where am I going? You know, like what's next?
I'm trusting you.
Yeah. I'm trusting y'all. Like, come on, show me where I'm going.
Right.
So, romantics a little bit. Have you encountered your twin flame, or have you encountered someone who you think is your twin flame, or, you know, have you had any experience there? I'm just wondering.
Look, that ain't nothing but God muting the mic.
Like,
Jordan, I got all. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest. Some people that I think are, they weren't. So right now, I'm just like, I don't think so, but I kind of do, but I don't.
I hear
like,
that.
I don't know. Like, I'm not really, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just, lovers are my weakness, put it like that. That's the only bullet in my Angels Everywhere book that I got bolded. Choose your friend. Your challenge is to choose your friends and your lovers carefully. Like, that's my thing. Like, I don't know. I don't be knowing, because I love hard all the time. So I'm just like, there's a Rumi quote that says you have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. And I really feel like that's just me summed up. Like I just always love hard. And a lot of time when I look back, it's like
I know. Yeah, yeah. I understand.
no. So
It's
now
it's hard out here because it's like also when you're on a journey where you're educating yourself and you're like pursuing a specific path, you know, your partner or whoever you're with may not be on that same path with you. You know, they may be on a completely different path, which
but
can cause conflict.
but what I can say is every lover that I had has been an upgrade. So what I've learned about my romantic journey is let them go. I don't try to hold on to nothing that don't need to be kept. You know what I'm saying? Like, because every time I really release them, I got a better lover, better, but wasn't quite the one, but was a little better than the last time.
Yeah.
So I'm trusting my journey.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, right. So
That's important too.
yeah,
Leveling up.
it's helping me to detach a little more easily and cut cords a little more quickly than trying to hold on and go through that be on that hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Because I don't think love's supposed to hurt or have you uncomfortable, you know.
Mm-hmm. It should be a perfect for you, like perfect.
Right. Absolutely.
I get that. I wanted to talk about okay, so I'm not putting you out there, okay? I'm just asking, you know, because I asked, but I know that you went to Colorado, Denver, Colorado. And so I just wanted to ask, you know, do you feel like trees, do you feel like trees that are earthly, you know, do you feel like those sever your connection with your source or do they enhance your connection?
Me personally, I can't say, I don't know if it strengthens you or it weakens you because it's mind altering, whether it comes from the earth or not. You know what I'm saying? It's mind altering. And anybody that's truly, truly connected, you don't need anything. You know what I'm saying? To connect to your source. That's the highest, like to me, that's like I sit and I try not to compare or I try not to put people on pedestals like that because I be thinking like I want to do deep high, get high. You know what I'm saying? I want to do that. Like they may not smoke, but they may take it in a form of a tincture, or they may take it. You get what I'm saying? Like everybody has their vices, so I try not to put a stigma on it or make it kind of good or bad because I think that anything you do too much of, like I'm not really a drinker. I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? But they may have a glass of wine. And I may do something else. So I try to just, that's why I practice non-judgment, no matter what it is, because we all got our own little thing. And no matter what, anything you cannot fast from, you are a slave to. So I ain't really gonna say, no, I don't really think it connects you to your source because I think that connection, you never lose it. You get what I'm saying?
Once you're connected.
Yeah, I mean, we all are. So, like, once you wake up, you can't go back to sleep. You can't, you can't lose your connection. You can kind of weaken it, but I don't think you can lose it. So, I don't, no. Okay, I did all that to say, no, I don't think it strengthens your connection. No. No, because I think it'll take a strong, noble man to be like, I'm coming to you empty. I don't need anything. You know what I'm saying? But I also feel like, if you do it, you do it.
Yeah. The non-judgment part. That's important.
That part. Yeah, that part.
I got you.
Okay. But to show up as your highest self, but let me ask you this, to show up as your highest self, do you think that would be your highest self showing up in that state?
Most likely.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at.
I hear that.
Yeah, that's
okay. So with that, how do you choose to connect to your source? How do you keep that connection strong? How do you feel connected? Like what kind of things do you do?
I fast regularly, like every few months. I definitely meditate daily, journaling. listening to Abraham, I feel like I'm really connected when I listen to Abraham. It just powerful speakers that I wish to emulate are those that I'm connected to. All of those things connect me to my source. Like being out in nature, you know what I'm saying? Walking up and down the beach, I just feel like, God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Being in a park and you look up and you see the trees are so touching the clouds and you like, wow, God, that's the connection to your source. So I'm just aware of all of the everyday connections. It ain't just, you know, one particular thing, but I do set aside time every day to be like, this is just for me. You know, like practice the pause, like this is for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you feel like meditation helps you like stay calm? And
meditation changed my life, period. I say that every interview, every question. Like I know I say meditation 5, 10, 15 times because you got to calm your mind, period. You got to keep your vibe. Everything in this world vibrates. It's the law of vibration. Everybody talk about the law of attraction, the law of this, but literally the law of vibration is just as important because we're all vibrating. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I want to be at the love vibe earlier because love is the highest vibration you can have. The highest. That means your thoughts are focused on love. You're not thinking about all this other, all of these other distractions. You're really just thinking about a loving, high, joyful place. So I recognize all of those little connections throughout daily life, like just little stuff. Like, wow, evidences of love. And I try to stay there. And it works.
That makes sense.
It definitely works.
It's like, I feel like you said in one video, like you are what you focus on, or like you see what you look for.
Absolutely.
Right? So if you keep looking for negativity, problems, that's what you're going to get.
Right. Yes.
I got you. So this goes along with your weight loss journey. What kind of changes did you have to make to get to obtain the body that you want? And you can be general, you know, you don't have to be as specific. I know you have like meal guides and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, first things first, I was into vision boards really, really heavy. I still am. I haven't made one this year, but I need to get on it. But I was into vision boards really, really heavy. So I would cut out pictures of clothing that I wanted to wear, the frame that I wanted to look like. And I just started to emulate how those people would eat and how they would live their life. I started working out. I was 250 pounds, but I was still getting up every morning walking. I changed my diet. At that time, I think I was just eating like chicken and fish. So I really wasn't into changing my diet like that until maybe about 2014. Then I stopped eating like meat. And then it was 2014 actually, because I started teaching a foods curriculum and I realized about our food industry. So it's not so much of anti-meat, it's more, I'm not saying it's, but I'm not so much of anti-meat as I am anti-chemical. You get what I'm saying? Because all of the processed food is like really worse than the meat anyway, because your body doesn't recognize chemicals. So once I cut that out and like really was focused on plant-based foods, natural foods, and plus it took me back to when I did my fast with the church because it was a Daniel fast and that was only fruits and vegetables. So I'm like, okay, as long as I can eat as much fruits and vegetables, that worked for me because I'm a foodie. I'm going to eat. And I like to eat a lot. I can't do like measure out half a cup. No, I can't. But I can go and just eat like
the right stuff.
Right. However much of apples I want to eat or however much, whatever. You know, that worked better for me because I was a big girl and I like eating. So I had to just find stuff that was okay for me to eat and my body responded to it. And it worked. And then I went and got work too. And I started wearing waist trainers first. And then I wanted to look good outside of my waist trainer, even though I looked good with it on. So I went and got work done. But then I realized like I gained 20 pounds the next month after I got the work.
Why?
Eating pizzas and chicken wings.
Because you can't.
And being stressed and all that stuff. So and realizing that the surgery didn't make me feel good, I was still like, what's wrong with me? You get what I'm saying? Still not like, that didn't work. So all of that really played a part. I had to do everything, like change my diet, my exercise, everything, like weight shapers. So like everything that I pretty much promote is like what I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I see you consistently with that Cmos.
Right, and the Cmos too.
Yeah.
Like all of that, it works for real.
I believe it. I definitely do. Actually, it's funny you say that because like I was on my own journey like over the past year. I'm still getting there, but I was way more than you. I was like 300 pounds, so it's like I definitely get that changing to eating the right stuff because you kind of have to like train your mind too to like the right stuff because
Absolutely.
you kind of teach yourself like, oh, I don't like spinach, I don't like broccoli, I don't like, and it's like where's that getting you, like if you keep having those thoughts.
And another thing I would do too is I would look at what they were eating and what they were shopping, like the people with nice bodies. I'd be like, dang, but they ordering salads, but the family that look like the clumps over there, we eating cheese fries, chicken tenders, all this other stuff. But so I really had to change the mental, you know what I'm saying? And where I was shopping at, going to Fresh Market and just paying a little more attention to what I was doing and how I was doing it. Like, so, and all that works. You had to get in and stop going through the drive-through. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, would I really be going through the drive-through if I had on a halter top? Like, no, so, and I was big. Like, I'm literally 200 pounds doing it, but it worked because, over time, your body reflects that too. So,
absolutely.
Your body reflects it too.
Did you experience any like difficulties with like switching your diet? Like, especially once you started adding in fasting? I know, like, how do you incorporate fasting and eating healthy? And when you finish a fast, like, how do you keep from going back to like the old?
That's I'm still there. Like, I'm still not 100%. But what I do is I always try to get back on when I fall off, because I fall off all the time. Because that's why I'm a borderline vegan, because I can't sit and just be like, I'm a vegan and I know I just ate a piece of cheesecake last week. Then I'm like, dang, man. Then I don't want to set my whole vegan timer over and be like, oh, I ate some in August. Like, it was just too stressful for me. So I'm like, F it, man. I'm a borderline vegan. So I'm like, you might catch me eating this. I don't care. But I didn't want that stigma. I just still want to do what was best for me. Like, my mama not making no vegan pound cake. She's putting eggs and butter and milk in it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to eat some of it. So I'm not about to sit here and be playing with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to be okay with me. And it's an ongoing journey for me. I have to really sit back and think how far I was.
Yeah.
Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I used to eat pork skins, chitlins, pig feet, you know what I'm saying? And now I'm good. Like, I still eat salmon and calamari and stuff like that, but I feel like I've come so far. So I just try not to, I try to, as Abraham says, get happy, then eat first, instead of, you know what I'm saying, just eating
to be happy. Yeah.
Get happy first.
It's like you practice non-judgment with yourself too.
I have to, because we are our biggest critic.
Yes.
Yeah, we are our biggest critic.
And we're not perfect.
At all.
And that's okay.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay. What are the benefits of fasting and how do you fast?
Fasting is like supercharge. You got an iPhone. Okay. Fasting is like the rapid charger to getting whatever it is you want to get done. Fasting is a surefire way to connect to your source. How you were saying, how do you connect to your source? Empty your vessel. Okay. If you
of everything?
Everything. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just go to God empty. I got an affirmation that says, go to God empty, which means fast. And another one, you can't get close to God on a full belly. You get what I'm saying? You full of pleasure. You good. You've been listening to what you want to listen to, humping on who you want to hump on, drinking, smoking, doing whatever. Your belly full, and you like, God help me. God is like, you good.
you
don't need me.
Yeah.
good. You get what I'm saying? But when you really like got your back against the wall, you like, damn, everybody done let me down. Now you want to talk to God, but it's like you still filled with all this other stuff. So it's like, okay, let me clear my temple. Let me clean my vessel. Let me humble myself and say, okay, I'm getting rid of everything for you, God. I'm not doing none of this stuff. I really want to hear your voice. And I promise you, you will have angels from near and far just come, stuff you done forgot about years ago, months ago, pop up at your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Like all of that stuff when you'll be like, wow, this really works. And so I think that is one of the most important. Anytime it's something that I need or I know my energy is just light or I'm just not in the right place, that's the surefire thing to do. Just fast. And it's hard to do.
It is.
It's hard. Like if it was that easy, everybody would do it all the time. But it's hard because we are habitual. We like what we like. We're used to what we used to. And we just don't want to. We comfortable. You get what I'm saying? But you just gotta do it. And can't nobody do it for you.
Yeah.
Like nobody can do it for you.
That's true. That's definitely a personal decision. And
yeah, nobody can do it for you.
I can say I tried to fast not too long ago, and bad experience transitioning back to normal, you know, like I feel like because I don't know if I was doing it properly. I'm not sure. I didn't eat anything. I basically stuck to liquids, like liquid smoothies and stuff like that. And I try to take away the sugar. Like I've been like slowly taking away things as I go, but it's like I want to really figure out how to incorporate it in a way that it's not like dangerous to my body.
First of all, I don't see, well, I'm not a medical doctor, so I ain't gonna say that it'll be dangerous to your body, but I'm saying the whole point of fasting is to connect to your spirit. That means you relinquishing all attachment. You know that nothing is gonna harm me on this fast. Nothing is gonna harm me on this fast. You'll be all right. Like, and then the more research you do, you'll realize people been fasting. There are people there recorded fast 168 days. Dick Gregory did. You know what I'm saying? People that look like us. It's a lot of stuff that that will kind of silence those voices. But the main thing is just do it yourself and try it out. Push it, test it, and see. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Test it and see. Don't let your mind talk you out of it. See how far you can go.
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. I want to switch gears a little bit. Okay. Before I switch gears, let me ask you this one thing. For anybody watching who feels lost and feels the need to have that spiritual connection, what advice would you give them?
Fast and pray.
Fast and pray?
Fast. If you want a spiritual connection. If you want to connect to the spiritual, then you have to relinquish your attachment to the physical. You gotta lose your job. You gotta lose your lover. You gotta lose your car. All that stuff you're trying to hold on to. If you really want to tune in and tap into the spiritual, you gotta be willing to lose all that stuff. The stuff you're trying to hold on to, the feelings, the relationship, all the bondages that you're trying to hold on to. You cannot have your old life and your new life. It's impossible. You can't. You get what I'm saying? So you can't be like, oh, I want to be spiritual, but I still want to. No. Like, which one? I'm not saying you can't live your life, but I'm saying maybe your life has to be on hold while you come over here and really experience spiritual. Spiritual means you can't really see it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say whatever name you want to call it, because nobody's seen God, nobody's seen the universe, nobody's seen Jesus, nobody's seen all of these words that we say is right or this one is wrong or whatever. Like, so spiritual, spirit is spirit. You cannot see it, you can only feel it. So that means you have no proof. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like you really have to, it's only you. Nobody's gonna hold your hand through this process. Nobody, not your mama, your daddy, your lover, nobody's gonna hold your hand. And it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary, but guess what? You'll be all right. You'll be all right. I promise you, you'll be all right. You just gotta do it. The only thing I can tell you is jump. Like, just imagine being on a cliff and you either got to turn around and just, or somebody just push you and just jump in there. That's all you got to do. And then when you hit the water, you like, damn, you were scared, jumping down there. But once you got in the water, you like, oh, the water kind of feel good a little bit. Then you kind of swim, and then you all right.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. It ain't no in between. There's no in between.
It's one or the other.
There's no in between. You can't be like kind of a little bit spiritual. No. Okay. You got to put your foot in the water, baby. Jump in it.
What are the benefits of Cmos and Bladderwack gel for anybody who doesn't know?
So Cmos is the sea vegetable that it's been around forever, but it's just recently like gained a popularity like in the past 20, 30 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. However, it has like 92 minerals that our body needs. So I like to refer to it as a superfood, nature's multivitamin, because it has 92 minerals that we need out of 102. Cmos has 92, but when you add Bladderwack, it makes up the whole 102 minerals. So I just take it every day, just like a natural multivitamin, no matter what your ailment is. Who's calling? Excuse me.
It's okay. Take your time.
Yeah.
So how did you actually start providing Cmos and Bladderwack gel?
The source actually found me right under my nose. Actually, what? That's like another evidence of love. Like I told you before, I said the source actually found me. Like it was a close friend of mine. We had a mutual friend, and he would always go to Africa. So he was like literally like right under my nose. So once I started doing my research on like natural everything, I was like, yeah, that's what I want. Like I want to get this. And once it worked for me, I was like, yeah, tap me in. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and yeah. So it worked. Like that's why I'm saying I don't have no problem letting go of nothing because I always get something better every time. So yeah.
That's good. That's awesome though.
Thank you.
Isn't that like kind of like how when you publish your books and everything, like the actual publishing, it wasn't like an expected, like this is exactly how I'm gonna do it. It's kind of like it happened.
No, I literally flew to China to find my books. Like I wasn't even planning on printing my books. I was going to China to a nail convention. But when I got over there, I was like, everything is printed in China. Let me find a book printer. And I set that intention when I was in China. The first day I was there 12 days. The first day I was like, I'm gonna leave with my books printed. Like I set that intention. Like I want to leave with my books in my hand. They were just ebooks, but I said I want them in my hand. And I went to like 4 different printers that trip. And the last one said they would have it before I left. And right before I got on the plane, I went there and picked up my sample copies. So I have. So that's how I started making the YouTube videos. I was reading my sample copy of my book.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, so I was reading it and then I just talked like, okay, 111. Then after I read each bullet point, I like recorded. That was it.
That's awesome.
Right.
That's really awesome.
Right. Yeah, it worked.
What are some entrepreneurship lessons that you've learned that other people could benefit from knowing?
Entrepreneurship is different for everyone. But one of the main things that I've learned is never beg people to support you. Like, don't beg people to support you. Just focus on what you're doing. Focus on maximizing your craft, building your own foundation. Don't focus so much and don't try to sell to your friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Don't sell to your friends and your family. They're not your target market. That is something it took me some years to try to figure out, and it just had my energy all over the place where I should have just been focusing on what I was there for. But I think that entrepreneurship is definitely something you should go for if it's in you. It ain't for everybody. Everybody's not built to be a boss. We need some workers too, some good workers. So if it's not for you, it's not for you. And don't fall in love with a business. I think that's some good advice too. Don't fall in love with no business. If it's not working, it's not working.
Yeah, move on.
Yeah, it's okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so when your Instagram, you started filming, you said from your sample book, you started filming your angel number videos and all that. When did you actually see like the change happen for like growing your YouTube channel, and like what advice would you give to someone who's looking to grow their YouTube channel like organically? Because I don't know if you use like TubeBuddy or if you use any tools or anything like that. You just
Nothing.
move with your spirit.
Nothing. Okay. When I say my YouTube channel is so organic, like I'm not even consistent posting on YouTube and I'm still getting checks. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and I have so many journals where I've done research on how to grow your channel and how to do this. Like, if you notice, when I first started recording, I had black bars on the side. You could hear all kind of noise in the background. I had no lighting. I had no nothing. Okay. Only thing I had was my intuition telling me there are no girls that look like you. Go ahead and record your videos and post them. I was on iMovie on my iPhone. I wasn't on my MacBook Final Cut Pro doing all, like, I wasn't doing that. I couldn't, like, nothing. Like, I didn't even know how to do nothing on YouTube. I was just recording. And those videos are still paying me to this day, 3 years later. Like, they're my top earning videos.
Wow.
Yeah, top earning videos, like, for real. Every time I get paid, every month, and I ain't missed a check since every 21st of every month, Google is depositing into my account from those old videos. So my advice would be, for one, to be authentic. For two, to make sure you're recording something that's gonna grow with you. You get what I'm saying? Don't try to hop on trends. Figure out what your voice is, what you here for, what you have to offer, and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying, because I went and got microphones and all, a ring light and all that stuff. Now, of course, I'm gonna grow a little bit, but I'm not gonna let lack stop me. I didn't let, I don't have a backdrop. I don't have a nothing. Y'all can see my growth from sitting in my car to sitting in my old shop, to sitting in my old crib, to sitting in my mama crib, to sitting in my new crib, to sitting in my new shop. You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all can see all that because I wasn't trying to, for one, put on a production for you. I wanted to show you exactly who I was, but I also wanted to show you that even though you're broken, you can still be used. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't, you would never know. Like, but until you get to the end where I'm like, y'all can help me, can you help me, please? But when I was speaking from my higher self, it wasn't from like, a point of lag. It was like, really, like, I believe this is going to happen. You have to be faithful. You have to have positive intentions. And if you look back, you can see how all of those things really did manifest, because I felt like God was using me. He told me to go record those videos. I didn't record them to get to monetize. That wasn't my intent, first of all. So maybe let me X all that out and say, make sure your intentions are pure. It was for me to share my notes with y'all. I wasn't recording for y'all. You get what I'm saying? But I was vulnerable enough to share my notes with you. Those are I still watch my videos. Yeah. Like, okay, why I keep saying 222 girl? And I'll be like, damn, okay, I'm still talking about that same program I ain't did. I'm still talking about stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm literally talking to myself.
Yeah. But that's good though. That's powerful.
Right. Yeah. So that's why I can't say, you got to post 3 times a week and you got to make sure you do this, because I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? I need to do that. I'm pretty sure if I was doing that, I probably, would be making way more. But I'm gonna be consistent, because I say that in all my videos. I'm gonna show up more. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. But I haven't.
It's bound to happen eventually, though.
It got to, like,
speaking it.
Right. That's true. That's true.
So, I mean, it's okay. I think for what you did, you were consistent because you finished all the angel numbers, right?
Yeah.
The first
but I was supposed to do 818, 717, all those, and I was gonna do 711.
You did a lot. You did a lot. You have done a lot. I look up any angel number, 9 times out of 10, you're the first 3 to pop up. So that is a blessing. Good. Yeah.
Okay.
And I recommend you to people all the time. Like I'll be listening to your videos while I'm like driving, doing Lyft, and people be like, oh my gosh, what are you listening to? And I'm like, well, maybe this message wasn't for you, but if you see a number, look it up. Like, because I try not to mislead people too, because I know not every message is intended for everybody. And it's not going to hit as hard if they're not open to the message, you know? Right. So I forgive yourself because you have already done a lot. You have done more than enough as far as like anybody thinking about starting their journey or just understanding angel numbers, you know? So
I received that.
Okay. So do you feel guilt about monetizing your light, like about making money off of your light?
Heck no, girl.
No.
No, never. No, because God gives us talents to create our wealth. He gave all of us the talent to create our wealth. Like that's what you have to find out. That's that's your job to find out what your light is, what your gifts are. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You should never feel guilty for using your light to take care of yourself. No.
Okay.
No, never.
I received that message.
Yeah.
I think
but I also feel like when you share your gifts, you are compensated abundantly. You get what I'm saying? So find what you have to share, give your free game, share the code. You get what I'm saying, which is what you're doing, however you do it, whatever kind of way, whether you singing, dancing, making people laugh, whatever it is, give it away, and then you will be compensated abundantly for that. You get what I'm saying? You can't just come out and be like, look, this is what I need. How we know that? You get what I'm saying? We don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so package up a free gift, do a free training, do something, like get them something for free.
You have to give to receive.
Share your gift. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, give it. Keep that cycle, keep that energy going. That's why I'm like, no matter how big I get, I'm always gonna make YouTube videos because y'all pour into me. I have to pour into you. I have to do that for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
These weekends, I'm going to do these because I'm not there yet anyway to where I can be like, no, but I'm not gonna like, why not? You get what I'm saying? You never know who you're gonna reach. So just always try to remain humble with your light because people are watching and being inspired and all that. But no, don't ever be ashamed to charge what you worth or monetize your gift or receive. If somebody want to pour into you, don't be like, no, receive it.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes complete sense. Okay. All right. Well, before we close things out, I'm pretty much through all my questions, but I want to start off by saying thank you so much for joining me with this interview. Thank you again for just being willing to share your free game, like you say. And if someone were watching this interview and they wanted to get in touch with you, they wanted to work with you, or just support your business, how would they do that?
You can go to my website at minxdiva.com, MINXDIVA, or you can just Google it because that's my social media handle across all platforms, Minx Diva. I trademark my name, so that's my name.
I got
you. You can find me, really, you could just Google Minx Diva and you're going to find me some kind of way. Google the borderline vegan. So easy to find. It may take me a while to respond to my DMs, but I got an email. You could join my mailing list. That's you'll always stay connected to me with my mailing list. So that's on either one of my websites too. And I have a contact me form. So
okay. And then what about your storefront? What kind of things do you sell at Minx Diva?
So my storefront is called Minx Diva's Essentials. And that is because it's really just a space for me to sell all of the things that I'm pretty much into, like waist shapers, waist beads, my Cmos, I sell it here, the raw Cmos, the natural soaps I use for my skin, my books, just everything that I'm into. I want to and kind of expand. It's not so much, I'm a manicurist, so I still do a few clients, even though my books are closed. So I had a space for me to service my clients, but it's just a nice little vibe for me to operate. it's just something that was just divinely in my path. I wasn't looking for, so I just made the best out of it too.
That's a blessing though.
It definitely another evidence to love. How you said that question earlier, do I see any evidences of me keeping my vibe and being loving? Another evidence of love.
That's
Yeah, well,
amazing.
it disappoint me, but God always come through with the upgrade. So.
That's important.
Yeah, very important, very much so.
Well, I'm hoping I see the Minx Diva in your backdrop in some of your YouTube videos, because
I know
I love it. Like
that's why I came here today, because I'm like, I've had this since November. I want to say I haven't recorded a video yet in here. Matter of fact, I might record one today.
You should. I mean, I'm not. Only you know if you do. So
yeah, it's time. It's time for me to go ahead and record it here. So I'm gonna get on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you so much for joining me. I look forward to different opportunities. Maybe we can collab on something else. You know, we can talk further, but I just really appreciate you being here with me in this moment.
For sure. Thank you for having me. Much success to you. I hope you stay consistent, and I hope you just keep following through.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Ebony. I'll see you later. Okay.
All right, take care.
Bye.